It's the ultimate financial showdown. Every time you stand at a checkout counter, you're making a choice that affects your net worth, your legal protection, and even your brain chemistry. We've all heard the traditional advice: debit is for people who can't handle money, or credit is just a trap for debt. But in 2026, the game has changed. With the average credit card APR hovering around 19.5% and new laws like the Credit Card Competition Act shaking up the industry, the obvious choice isn't so obvious anymore. Today, we're doing a deep dive. We're going to look at why your debit card might actually be a security risk, how credit cards use psychological hacks to make you spend 18% more, and finally, we'll give you a definitive strategy for which one you should be using for every single purchase. The debit card, the safe harbor? Let's start with the honest card. The debit card. Roughly 30% of all transactions are still made with debit. For many, it represents the ultimate form of financial discipline. Why? Because it's your money. Immediate feedback. When you buy a $5 coffee, $5 leaves your account instantly. No debt trap. You can't spend money you don't have unless you've opted into those predatory overdraft programs. More on that in a bit. Zero interest. You aren't paying 20% interest on a sandwich you ate 3 weeks ago. For the tightwads, and I say that with love, debit cards provide peace of mind. But there is a hidden cost to this safety. See, debit cards are governed by something called Regulation E. If someone steals your debit card and drains your bank account, that is cash gone from your life. Yes, you can dispute it, but while the bank investigates, your rent check might bounce. Your car payment might fail. In 2026, with the rise of AI-driven agentic fraud, a compromised debit card is a direct pipeline to your life savings. And here's the kicker. Under Regulation E, if you wait more than 2 days to report a lost card, your liability can jump from $50 to $500. Wait more than 60 days? You could be liable for everything. So, debit is great for discipline, but it's like carrying your actual wallet around. If it gets snatched, the pain is immediate and physical. The credit card. The double-edged sword. Now let's talk about the heavy hitter. The credit card. In the financial world, credit cards are a power tool. If you know how to use them, they're amazing. If you don't, you're going to lose a finger. First, the pros. Credit card usage is at an all-time high, about 35% of all payments. Why? The rewards. If you aren't using a rewards card, you are essentially paying a hidden tax. Merchants build the cost of credit card processing fees into their prices. If you pay with debit or cash, you're paying for the rewards that other people are getting. Then there's Regulation Z. This is the legal shield that makes credit cards superior for security. When you swipe a credit card, you aren't spending your money. You're spending the bank's money. If there's fraud, or if a merchant doesn't deliver your product, you just click Dispute. The money never left your pocket, so your lifestyle isn't interrupted while the bank fights the battle. But here is the candid AI truth. The banks aren't giving you 2% cashback because they like you. They are betting on you failing. With average interest rates at nearly 20%, the math of credit cards is brutal. If you carry a balance of $5,000, you are paying roughly $1,000 a year just for the privilege of owing money. That 2% cashback you earned? It was wiped out by the first 2 weeks of interest. And let's be real, even if you think you're a credit card person, the statistics say most people aren't. Over 40% of cardholders carry a balance month to month. The banks call people who pay in full deadbeats because they can't make money off them. My goal for you: be a deadbeat. The psychology of the swipe. This is the part most financial gurus skip. Why do we spend more on credit? Behavioral psychologists found that the pain of paying is a real neurological phenomenon. When you hand over a $100 bill, your insular cortex, the part of the brain associated with physical pain, actually lights up. It hurts to see the money leave your hand. Credit cards Decouple the pleasure of the purchase from the pain of the payment. You get the shoes today. You feel the pain 30 days later when the bill comes. Studies in 2025 and 2026 show that people spend 12% to 18% more when using a card versus cash. Even more witty is the reward trap. Have you ever bought something you didn't need just to hit the spending limit for a sign-up bonus? You just spent $3,000 to get $500 back. The bank didn't give you a bonus. They sold you a $2,500 shopping spree you didn't want. The verdict: which is better? So, which one wins? It depends on your financial avatar. The case for credit, the optimizer. If you are someone who tracks every dollar, pays your bill in full every single Friday, don't wait for the month's end, and values security, credit is the winner. You get 2 to 5% back on your life, superior fraud protection under Regulation Z, and you're building a credit score that will save you tens of thousands on a future mortgage. The case for debit, the builder. If you are currently digging your way out of debt, or if you notice that swiping makes you feel like you're playing with Monopoly money, debit is your best friend. The 2% rewards aren't worth the 20% interest or the stress of a mounting balance. With inflation still a factor, cash flow is king. If you can't see the money, you shouldn't spend the money. Here is the pro strategy that you should use. Use credit for fixed costs and online shopping. Put your Netflix, your gym, and your Amazon orders on credit. This gives you the Regulation Z protection for shipping issues and easy tracking. Use debit or cash for variable spending. If you're going out for drinks or clothes shopping, use debit. When the account hits zero, the party is over. The 24-hour rule. If you're using credit for a big purchase, wait 24 hours. It forces your brain to recouple the cost with the benefit. At the end of the day, a card is just a tool. A hammer can build a house or break a thumb. It all depends on who's swinging it. Now it's time to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching.